Welcome to today's video. Can you feel the hype? We are one day away from Season 9, the most hyped season I think there is to date. Yesterday I went through all the nerfs and buffs for all the weapons, but now we're on to the important part, the legends. Which legend are you maining for Season 9? Is your main going to change? I know one thing, I've been checking Twitter, I've seen a lot of people complain about Horizon. I do not know what her nerf is. I've not read it yet. I've only read the weapons and a few other things. I'm just waiting for the legends. We're going to review that right now. So let's start off with the new legend, Valkyrie. Let's get some good news going first. New legend. Really looking forward to trying her out. And now we have confirmed her passive, tactical and ultimate. So passive are the VTOL jets. So you can use your jetpack to reposition or reach high places. You have limited fuel. Cannot use weapons while flying. So that's a good thing. Her tactical is the missile swarm, so fire swarm and mini rockets. So we've seen these in the trailers, and I think it's okay that it's visible where the rocket's gonna land. So that's kind of good. Finally, her ultimate, which I think is gonna be OP, but you can take to the skies to reposition a long distance across the map. Your squad mates can join in as well. I don't think you can shoot if you can't shoot for the passive. I don't think you can shoot for the ultimate. So it's gonna be interesting. Really looking forward to trying it out. But now, let's go check out the current legends. See what's going on. So here we go. Let's see. So first off, low profile characters. So low profile no longer exists. This trait has been removed for Wraith, Lifeline, and Watson. So after our successful experiment with Wraith's hitboxes, we are now confident that we can solve the balance between smaller and larger legends through changes to their kits and hitboxes. It's finally time for low profile to go the way of the Dodo. So this is gonna be an interesting one. To say the least. Let's begin with Lifeline, who has nerfs and buffs. So the first one, I mentioned it before. Combat revive, it's gone. Well, not gone, but the shield is gone. The shield was very overpowered for Season 8. In some ways, you could just pop that shield and get that guy up immediately, and they would have time to run away, pop their own shield, pop their own heals to get back into the fight. It was very OP. Glad it's gone, but it's still something that is good for Lifeline mains to still have. So even though the shield's gone, you can still pop the drone and still go into the fight. So it's still there. It's still something good for Lifeline mains, but it's not going to be as overpowered anymore and annoying to play against. You can now revive two players at the same time as Lifeline. So even though they got rid of the shield, which was a nerf, she's got a little buff as well. Now she can revive two people at the same time. Interesting. Now cancel active revives in progress to allow your teammate to defend themselves with a knockdown shield. So the Doc heal drone. So the heal rate increased from 5 HP per second to 8, and the deployment time before healing is reduced by roughly 33%. So a little buff for the heal drone. Care packages. The cooldown's been reduced from 6 minutes to 5 minutes, and now guarantees an upgrade if possible in 3 categories: the body shield, other equipment, so helmets, backpacks, or knockdown shields, and weapon attachments as well. So, if you really think about it, she's had a combat revive nerf as a shield going down, but in return, she's gotten a huge buff because she can revive two people at the same time. The drone heal rate has been increased. The cooldown has been reduced. Her care package cooldown has also been reduced. And now her care package has got an ultimate buff. So instead of having like 2 syringes, a shield, a random hop up, and a body shield, now you have stuff which is specific to your team. So in turn, Lifeline's got a huge buff. She's got the passive nerf, but everything else has just been buffed. So I don't think there's going to be any issues with Lifeline. I still think if you're a Lifeline main in Season 8, you can easily run it for Season 9 now. And then dev note, talking about Lifeline's kit, the passive shield was extremely strong to the point of frustration. Yep. So they've just nerfed the passive, and they've like buffed everything else. So Lifeline has a huge buff. There we go. Next, Octane. For cooldown between stims has been reduced from 4 seconds to 1 second. Reduced cooldown between stims from 4 seconds to 1 second, and the increased health cost from 12 HP to 20. Increased bullet spread while in the air and shooting from a low launch pad trajectory. So there's a little bit of a nerf for a lifeline. I still think people are still going to try and abuse for stim. Because if they are just going to down to like 60, they can easily just pop a syringe, go back, carry on, keep popping syringes and still going. But there is a nerf to Octane. Do I think people are going to stop using Octane? Not really. No, I still think people are going to use Octane even though he has the stim nerf. But the bullet spread while in the air and shooting from a low launch pad trajectory, that's a little bit of a buff as well. But I still think he's been nerfed more than he has been buffed, so I'm going to count that as like a nerf. Octane continues to perform really well after latest changes too well. We still love the frequency of a jump pad. We like to make using stim something Octane thinks about doing at the right time, so they're always slamming it by default. So with this, Octane mains, are you still going to play as Octane? People just spam the stim to go and try and get the good loot. I don't think people are going to be doing that anymore, so I'm going to count this as a nerf. The next one, Loba. There have been so many complaints about Loba for Season 8. I said in the previous video there's a confirmed buff. Now here's the buff. You can now run and slide at full speed while aiming the bracelet, and while the bracelet is in the air. Loba will no longer be slowed after translocating, and they've fixed a lot of bugs that caused the bracelet toss to fail. And the black market for cooldown has been increased from 90 to 120. So you know what? That's a huge buff. That's a huge buff for Loba. I can see a lot more people running Loba now because of the bracelet. I've had so many issues with the bracelet of not being able to grab my gun out in time because my hands have been crossed and trying to pull the bracelet down. But now you can move as well. You're not going to be super slow walking. You can run at full speed. You can slide cancel everything. I might start using Loba more. And then the black market, there's not going to be any issues with the black market. The cooldown has been increased an extra 30 seconds. I think the black market before was like 2 OP. Now they've reduced it a bit. It's still going to be fine. Loba's still going to be fine. I think more people are going to use it now. Next up, Horizon. I've seen a lot of people who are Horizon mains say they might not use her anymore. They think she's going to be used like when on Toy Story when Andy's done with Woody. You know, they're not going to use. The meme of I don't want to play with you anymore, just dropping Horizon. So reduce lift speed by 30%, nerfed. Reduce side acceleration, another big nerf. Limited the time you can stay at the top of a gravity lift for 2 seconds, huge nerf. Increase the cooldown from 15 to 20 seconds, huge nerf. Horizon's abilities will now get zapped by Watson's pylons, another huge nerf. They have destroyed her. They have destroyed Horizon. I admit, Horizon was the main for Season 8, and she needed this nerf. But by God, she might become unusable. She might be now the next legend to have the lowest win rate. I think for Season 9, Horizon might have the lowest win rate. Depending on how she plays, she might be below Rampart and Fuse and Valkyrie for this one. Oh God. Horizon's powerful and popular, that's not why we're making these changes. Come on. That's the reason why you're doing it. We believe that mistakes in Apex Legends should be punishable, and Horizon could just get herself out by positioning while popping a whole battery. This just wasn't true. These changes have 2 goals. 1, make it much more possible for enemies to shoot Horizon as she sits in her gravity lift. Yeah, fair enough. And 2, make gravity lift less of an impromptu sniper tower. Okay. I'm not really going up and... I don't know, guys. I might not use Horizon for Season 9. You know what? I'm going to try Horizon for Season 9 and just see how she is. But I think she might be done. I think Horizon might be done. Sad times. Next up, the legend who I believe needed the biggest buff was Fuse. And they've done that. So the knuckle cluster now has 2 stacks. There's an 18 to, I think it's like an 18 to 25 second cooldown or something. Oh no, they reduced the cooldown from 25 to 20. I think before it was 25 to 18, but now they've done it to 20. I enjoy using the knuckle cluster, so that's going to be interesting. I think they needed to do more for season 9, for a new season. I think he needed to be buffed a lot more, because not a lot of people are using him. I think there needs to be some more changes. I hope he gets some more buffs for season 9. Next up, Bangalore. I've kind of gotten a little bit good with Bangalore. Only one change, smoke launcher, so now the smoke is a lot more thicker. I know that during middle of season 8 they nerfed the smoke a little bit, so we're just going to bring it back. That's fine, that's all she needs. Bloodhound. I do use Bloodhound a lot, so he's no longer going to receive assists from Eye of the Allfather. So his scan's strong, but the goal of this change in particular is to reconsider assists and the implication for ranked points. There's no intrinsic value in certain scans. I like what it says in here, crypto remain an exception, which is a good thing. The active nature of crypto's drone scan is no bit different from the passive option with Bloodhound. So that means, because before I was just popping the scan and my teammates would get the kills and I would get 3 assists. I don't think that's fair. So I kind of agree with this. I kind of agree with it. So it's like, it's a tiny nerf. They're not changing anything about the scan, it's just like can't get assists, so that's okay. And then finally, my second main, who might become my new main now, which is Crypto, he can now scan and open care packages. Oof, that's going to be good. That's going to be a good one. I like that buff. And now can no longer use his drone to hijack a respawn beacon that's already in use. I didn't even know you could do that. So that's okay, that's a buff. I'm going to count that as a buff. So that's everything. So there's nothing mentioned about Gibraltar, Watson, Caustic, Revenant, Mirage, Rampart, and I think that's all of them. So yeah, obviously guys, the main nerf is Horizon. Horizon's getting a huge nerf. She might become unplayable. The biggest buff from all of this, who also had a big nerf, was Lifeline. I think Lifeline's got the biggest buff and like the second highest nerf. So it's gonna be interesting. I think we're still gonna see a lot more people using Lifeline. I think Octane mains, or just people are using Octane, are not gonna spam the stim anymore. I can see a lot more people using Loba right now. I can see a lot less people using Horizon and probably going back to Wraith or something like that. So that's about it, guys. Tomorrow is season 9 and I'm really looking forward to it. There's going to be a lot of content coming to the channel, guys. I'm going to be reviewing the new weapon, the new legend, the battle pass, the new game mode, playing the new maps. There's going to be a lot of stuff. But tomorrow's video, the first video of season 9, is going to be reviewing the battle pass. And already in here, it shows you 2 of the new skins. So that's a little teaser. These two skins are going to be in the battle pass. So guys, that's going to be the end of this video. If you do enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like. Let me know how hyped you are for season 9. If you want to come talk to me, if you actually want to come play with me sometimes, maybe in Arena. I'm looking to get some community members to play in Arena. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/AfroSteaks. We've got one more sleep until season 9, and I'm recording this on Sunday, but I'm hyped. I am hyped. I just can't wait. I'm really looking forward to this season.